Hello student, today I am going to discuss elastic collision in two dimension. In my previous video already I have discussed what is elastic collision in one dimension. What is elastic collision? If both the kinetic and the momentum are conserved in a collision, the collision is said to be an elastic collision. Here we will discuss elastic collision in two dimension. So consider a body of masses m1 moving with initial velocity u1 along x direction and collides with another body of mass m2 moving with initial velocity u2. After collision, the body of mass m1 moves with velocity v1 at an angle theta 1 with x direction or with x axis, and the body of mass m2 moving with velocity v2 after collision, making an angle theta 2 with x-axis. In elastic collision, kinetic energy and momentum are conserved, we know. Since kinetic energy is conserved in elastic collision, so total kinetic energy before collision half m1 u1 square kinetic energy of the body A, half m2 u2 square kinetic energy of the body B before collision, and after collision half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. This is the total kinetic energy after collision. So this is half m v1 half m1 v1 square kinetic energy of body body A and half m2 v2 square. That is the kinetic energy of body B. This is the total kinetic energy after collision. This is the total kinetic energy before collision. So kinetic energy is conserved. Also, momentum is conserved in elastic collision. But here you see the diagram. To calculate the momentum, here the body is moving in the xy plane, body A and B moving body A moving in the xy plane and body B moving in the xy plane. So here the momentum is a vector quantity, so momentum has resolved two rectangular components. So we know momentum is m1 v1, so m1 v1 resolve with respect to theta, m1 v1 cos theta along x direction, m1 v1 sin theta 1, this is along y direction. Again I am telling you this momentum m1 v1 has resolved into two rectangular components. One component is along x direction, that is m1 v1 cos theta 1, and another component m1 v1 sin theta 1, which is along y direction. Similarly, momentum of the body B after collision m2 v2. Here m2 v2 also resolve into two rectangular components, that is m2 v2 cos theta 2 along x direction and m2 v2 sin theta along y direction. So both the components resolve into two rectangular components. The momentum m2 v2 has resolved into two rectangular components, So m2 v2 cos theta 2 along x direction, m2 v2 sin theta 2 along y dash direction. Here we have to take component of momentum. Since momentum is conserved, we have to take the component of momentum along x direction and along y direction. Let us write first the component of momentum along x axis or x direction, m1 u1 plus m2 u2, total momentum before collision along x direction, equal to m1 v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 cos theta 2. So this is, let us give this equation number 1, first one, kinetic energy conservation, kinetic energy 1, equation 1, and this is equation 2. Next, the component of momentum along y direction, positive y direction or y axis. Since you see, before collision, both the body moving along x direction, not y direction, but not y axis. So total momentum, the component of momentum y axis of body A is 0. The component of momentum of body B along y axis 0 before collision. So total momentum before collision along y direction is 0. So 0 plus 0. And total momentum along y axis m1 v1 of body A, m1 v1 sin theta 1 plus, you see this is the, you see the diagram, m1 v1 sin theta 1, the momentum along y direction, but this momentum m2 v2 sin theta 2 along y dash direction, y dash axis, it is downward. So since we are writing along positive y direction or positive y axis, so m2 v2 sin theta 2 becomes minus negative if we take along y axis, positive y axis. So let us take, so minus m2 v2 sin theta 2 0 m1 v1 sin theta 1 minus m2 v2 sin theta 2. So m1 v1 sin theta 1 equal to, minus and bring plus, it will bring left side, m2 v2 sin theta 2. This is equation number 3. Now we have got three equation, equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3. But there are 4 unknown quantities. We have 3 equation, but our variables are 4. There are 4 unknown quantities, that is v1, v2, theta 1 and theta 2. When there are only 3 equation, we have 3 equation but 4 variables. The minimum number of equation required to solve this problem should be equal to number of unknown quantities. As we know, if there are 3 equation, if there should be 3 variables. If we have 4 variables, we should have 4 equations. Then we can solve. Since here we have 3 equations but we have 4 variables, so this equation we cannot solve. We can solve if one variable is known. If we know one out of 4, any one variables, out of 4, v1, v2, theta 1, theta 2, out of 4, any one variables is known, then we can solve these 3 equations. So we can solve to find the 3 variables but knowing only one variable. Again I am telling you, we have 4 variables but we have 3 equations. If we know one variables, out of 4 one variables, then we can solve this equation. So knowing the value of one unknown quantity, the remaining unknown quantities can be determined by using these 3 equations. Thank you.